Okay, I'm so excited. Katrina is joining me to share a little bit about her Aroma Freedom testimonial. So, Katrina, can you share with us how you were feeling before you tried Aroma Freedom?
Yeah. So, before Aroma Freedom, I had been to talk therapy. I had done Sozo, healing prayer, soul care type therapy, and my talk therapist really helped me understand, the things from my childhood, from my past that I thought was normal that weren't normal, and all the ways that that kind of left me with a lot of it. Answered some of the questions, but those questions brought up the answers brought up more questions. And so I kind of felt like I finally knew the problem, but I didn't know how to fix it. Like there was more. And that's why I got into Sozo, or soul care, and Sozo helped a lot put words to those things of naming the feelings, of realizing some of the lies that I had been believing. But even that, even though there was another level of healing there and another level of release, I was still angry. I was still frustrated. I was still having a really hard time with stuff. And I started lashing out at my kids, and it started affecting the way that I parent. My 3-year old, especially, she's my oldest. And um, trying to give her the emotional freedom that I was never afforded as a child, that I never had, trying to give her, room to express herself, but found myself just getting so triggered and so angry and so defeated every time. The thought was like, how come you get to do this, but I don't? How come you get to feel your feelings and express them, but I don't? Like, this isn't, I don't, something's not right here. And so, and that's when I looked into Aroma Freedom. And I was a little apprehensive, like, this is kind of weird. Like, how can just smelling oils do what you say it does? But like, all right, I'll give it a shot. It's kind of weird. And so while I was during our first session, you asked me a goal that kind of guided us through to help you ask the right questions and stuff. Um, and it seemed a little sporadic to me. Talk theory, and even so is very linear. You start at point A and you talk through, and then you hit all the points and you get to the end. AFT was not like that. It was very much like that scene on Frozen 2 where she's in the ice cave, and like all of these memories pop up, and it's like spinning around, and like there's one here and here and here and here. Like, where did the singing Frozen thing come from? And kind of like that. So it wasn't chaotic, but it wasn't linear. It seemed sporadic. It was like memories did not seem connected. But by the end of the session, I realized that though they weren't connected, the feelings behind them were similar. And so by the end, I realized I had found a piece to a traumatic event that had happened 5 or 6 years ago that was also the same feeling of with my children, of like, well, why don't I get to? And so after clearing that and releasing it, it took a memory that I could not, before AFT, I could not think about this event without getting triggered, without getting angry, without rage in my spirit. And after AFT, that memory has the same emotional charge as putting my shoes on yesterday. It's not a thing. It's like, oh yeah, that happened in my life. Like, I put my shoes on yesterday. Yeah. Oh yeah, that other thing that happened in my life. Okay. Moving on. And I
Yeah.
did not think that kind of freedom would be possible from that kind of event that happened,
Hmm.
and how the bondage that had held me. And in talk therapy, I had talked that specific situation. I'd talked to my counselor about it. That's why I started going to therapy.
Yeah.
I'd done soul care over it. I'd released it to God. I'd forgiven the other person, but finally getting it to the point of like, there was a missing key. There was a missing thought that I knew, but that I couldn't bring out, that I
Yeah.
couldn't access that thought. And the during AFT, that thought came up of like, oh. and it made the whole rest of the situation okay. And so
Mm-hmm.
now that I've done AFT, oh, I don't know, 4 or 5 times now, like every time it's still some things are more linear,
Mm-hmm.
but some things, like we just did one today where it was like that. I don't know exactly how this is working, but I guess my brain needs to sort this out. And so not putting expectations on what kind of thoughts you're going to have, but
Yeah.
just literally letting your brain sort itself out.
Yeah.
And just relaxing and trusting the process and trust that it will work and you will get the results you want. But yeah.
Yeah. So how do you feel now compared to before you started? Like when you're in your day, like what's changed?
I can have a lot more grace for my kids. I can see their emotional outbursts and know that like it is okay for them to have that. And I don't need to fight their emotions because I know that my emotions, because because of the things that we've worked out through my parenting journey specifically, and me of just bringing peace and realizing I am not denying myself in allowing them their feelings. I do not have to deny my feelings to give them theirs, to validate theirs. It's not a give and take. I can be completely okay in myself and confident in my own emotions and let them have their feelings as well. And we're not in conflict. We're not coming against each other so furiously. And there's still moments, I mean, good grief, parenting is hard. It just is. No matter what you
Yes.
do, parenting is hard. But
Yes,
it's been so much
absolutely.
easier to become to emotionally distance myself from my children's outbursts and their neediness and know that I can be okay and I can get what I need without taking it from them.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
can be okay by myself, which is something I think I never got as a child. I was never, my parents took what they needed from me as a child. And so now as
Mm,
a parent, to be able to break that chain of, I am not going to take this from you. I'm going to
mm-hmm.
give it to myself and you can have it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't need to take your power. I can have my own.
Mm-hmm.
Has made all the difference in the world,
Mm,
especially with my 3-year-old of that she needs something from me, and as the parent that is my job is not to take from her but to give of myself and to give her my calm. I now have calm to give her because of AFT. I now have
I love
something to
that.
offer her in return.
Mm,
I don't have to take it from her and give it to her, and that has made a world of difference, and not just in my parenting but also in friendships, that I don't have to take from my friends. I can give. I don't have to, I'm not, a sponge looking for the next person to validate me. I can be that person for myself.
yes. Oh yeah.
And I
Yeah.
can walk into a friendship as an equal and instead of as a sponge. And so I
Mm,
actually have deep friendships like I haven't had ever, maybe outside
mm,
of my husband, but to have actual fellowship and friendships and feel like I can be a contributing member of the friendship instead of
mm,
just sucking the life out of everyone, including myself. Like I
mm.
feel full.
Ah,
I don't feel like pouring from an empty cup anymore.
mm. I love that. I love that
Yeah.
so much. Okay, so if there was somebody listening to this that was
Mhm.
like, I don't know, I'm not really sure what to think about it. That sounds weird. I don't know if it's worth investing in or spending the time doing. What would you tell them?
I would tell them, I would ask, first of all, what if is it worth it to stay where you are? Is it worth it to continue doing life as you've been doing it? Like, what really do you have to lose?
Yeah.
But then also, what if it does work? What if those thoughts that keep you stuck inside your own brain, the things that you don't even know about that are sabotaging every single area of your life, what if you could get rid of those? What
Yes.
if you don't have to deal with them anymore?
Yes.
Isn't that worth it? Would it be worth trying?
Yeah.
I would try it. I
Yeah.
did try it. It sounded hokey to me, but it worked. And it's worked again and again and again. I tried it with my husband. So I tried it with my husband. I'm
Yeah.
not certified. I don't know all of the right questions and steps to take, but just having him smell the oils, it unlocked memories for him. And
Mm-hmm.
Rochelle is really well trained. She knows how to help you clear the memory so you don't have to have an emotional charge on it anymore.
Yeah.
Like, what would that do for your life? If the thing that's keeping you stuck, that memory, that anger at that person, what if you woke up tomorrow and you didn't feel that anymore? That it
Mm.
was the same equivalent of like taking your shoes off when you got home, like that level of energy.
Yeah.
Like, how would that change your life?
It
And
is
wouldn't that
life
be worth
changing.
trying? It is life changing. It is.
Oh my word. Yes.
Yeah.
100%. Well, thank you. Thank you so much for sharing this. And I know this is going to encourage somebody. So
Yes.
thank you.
You're welcome. My pleasure.